Hello and welcome to this video and to, in theory, a vlog, but it's probably going to be more like a catch up rather than a vlog, because the last one I did, she just had her first lot of jabs. She's now due her second lot of jabs tomorrow, so it's been about 4 weeks. And I know in that video I said I'd started one, but I'd literally only filmed this clip and saying about how we were going to venture to some groups, and then I never carried on. So I thought we'd do a bit of a catch up of the month. I've got a few clips here and there of stuff that we've done. A lot of the stuff we've done I haven't been able to film for obvious reasons. So I thought we would have a catch up, draw a line under the sand, and then restart afresh basically, because I haven't really been in the mood to vlog, so I just haven't done it, but I want to get back into it. So that is the plan. I've got a list on my phone of things I was going to cover with you, so I'm going to wash up her bottles, and I think we'll start with groups or medical stuff. Just waving a knife around here. Groups or medical stuff? Probably medical stuff first. Sorry for pointing a knife at you. Right, now that I've actually made some space on my memory card, medical stuff. So we seem to have been to no end of medical appointments recently for both me and Eloise. For me, I can't remember if I've mentioned it at all in the videos, but I've been having some issues with my back since having a baby, and although I thought it was getting better, we then started venturing out and about, and that involves a lot of sitting on the floor, bending over, all of that stuff, and it just made my back really bad. So I ended up with a physio appointment. Thankfully nothing structurally wrong with my back. It's just a case of trying to build back strength into it after the hormones of pregnancy, especially the ones that like relax your muscles, tendons, whatever it is, and the birth that I had, and then obviously the fact that you're not given any chance to actually recover and recuperate after it, because you're immediately into looking after a child, and that involves a lot of back movement that quite frankly I wasn't doing before. So the physio has essentially given me a YouTube playlist of exercises that I'm supposed to do daily. I might pick a video and do it daily. I'm not very good because I'm not very good at looking after myself, hence why I probably don't drink enough. My pelvic floor exercises have gone out the window, and I am not doing them probably as often as I should, but I am doing them, and I do think it's having a bit of an effect. That, or I'm off the high of a bank holiday weekend where I haven't really carried her a lot because Pete's been around, and obviously I have bad back, so he does a lot when he's here. So maybe I'm off the high of that, I don't know, but it does feel like it is getting better, and the physio said that I've got to give it at least till June, like end of June, to see if it's making any difference. If it's not, then to go back and they'll relook and stuff like that. So that's been my main thing. It was highly frustrating because there's a lot of carrying, a lot of doing things with a child, and it got to say like 3 o'clock and I couldn't really do it anymore. So those last 2 hours were both frustrating for me and Eloise, because she wanted to be carried and I needed to sit, and we couldn't come to much of an agreement on that. So as I said, thankfully my back seems to be getting better, and she seems to be coming out of her colicky bit where she will not let you sit down and she screams if you do, whereas that doesn't seem to be much as bad at the moment, fingers crossed. So for Eloise, it's been a lot of standard stuff. Obviously she's had her baby checks, so physically she's all good, nothing wrong there. She's got a bit of a gunky eye at the moment, but that's common. It's not an infection because they checked. We just got to keep wiping it, and she could have it for months, which is probably not the nicest for her. As I said, we've got her the next lot of jabs, so we've had that. We've got that appointment coming up. And then we've had and have got several things with the health visitor, because although she's putting on weight, she's not putting on enough weight to fit with her curve. And I hate the phrase, and I don't want to use the phrase because it makes me angry, because weight is not the only indicator for a child. But she has been deemed failure to thrive because of this whole weight thing. And we're on a feeding plan because essentially she was a grazer. She'd have a little bit here, a little bit there, which is exactly what they tell you to do in terms of responsive feeding, which is what we're doing. But she now isn't. She's coming down very slowly off her curve on her percentiles, so they've put us on a feeding plan, which will never work because I have a child that likes sleep and they want us to feed her during the day every 2 hours, but not wake her up. That ain't working really, but we're getting more in her. She's not happy about it because we're essentially trying to force feed her when she doesn't want it. I'm very much a foot in both camps. Obviously, I don't want there to be anything wrong with her, and if doing this for the few weeks or whatever is a good indicator to see whether she actually does put on weight and whether it is the feeding. If she doesn't, then maybe there's an underlying issue that we need to find out, and obviously I want to know that. But also, trying to fight with my daughter to get her to eat when she quite clearly doesn't want to is not nice for either of us. So we're currently going through that, and we've got another weigh in next week to see if anything's changed. As I said, she is putting on weight, just not at the rate that they want her to. And I was talking with the other NCT mums about it yesterday, and obviously some of their children are smaller, like they were born smaller, so they're on smaller percentiles than Eloise, and it was all a bit baffling because she's hardly an emaciated, unhealthy child, but there we go. I could probably rant about it for a long time, so I'll save that for you, because nobody wants that. That's what we're going through at the moment. And yeah, trying our best, but it's not the nicest thing to do. I think this is going to be too loud, so I'm going to empty the dishwasher and then I'll come back to you about our next topic. Right, I thought we'd also have a little Jeff update, because since I wasn't filming, Jeff has had his 9th birthday. Can you believe this hound is 9 years old? I can't. We went for a walk in the woods. We actually didn't do anything particularly special for his birthday this year, which is a bit sad because we've done something for his birthday pretty much every year we've had him in some capacity. I'll link one of them up here for you so you know what I'm talking about. I know one year we made dog treats. Yeah, he's 9. He's doing good. Still a spring chicken. He's also got some jabs coming up next week, so that is just yearly injections and all of that. He's coping a bit better with Eloise. We're still learning, aren't we, Jeff? Yeah, we're still learning. So she's definitely part of the pack, but hierarchy is what we're working with at the moment. So there are still times where he obviously thinks she's not doing what she's supposed to be in her position. So he's never like aggressive to her, and like bark at her, I guess, or whine at her, but it's just something that we have to contend with. I'm sure all dog owners are the same, and obviously when she starts moving, that's going to be another issue that we're going to have to try and work out, but we'll get there. And Jeff's doing good. Jeff's a good boy. Yeah, I mean, during the day when it's the three of us, me, Eloise and Jeff, we don't have any problems. It does actually seem to happen more so when people come over. So like if my parents are here, or if Pete's parents are here, for example, he gets a bit more agitated. I don't know whether that's because there's more people that are giving Eloise attention and not him, or... But then he gets more attention when they're here, so I don't know what it is, but I personally think he is much calmer and much better with her when it's just like me and them, or we don't have any incidences, or we haven't had any incidences for a long time when it's just the three of us. Maybe that's just because I'm aware of it, I don't know, but it's good. I feel bad for Jeff because obviously it's a big upheaval in his life that he technically didn't ask for, and he's been our sole focus essentially for 7 years. So we've had him 8. He's been alive 9 years. We've had him 8 years. So for pretty much 8 years, because it was April. He's been our sole focus, and then all of a sudden I can't really give him any attention during the day because normally she's napping on me, which is the miracle that she's not right now. So yeah, that's been the hardest part. The dog guilt I found really difficult when having a baby. There was a moment where she was asleep in the Moses basket and me and Pete played with him. I may have mentioned this already in a vlog, I can't remember what I've said and what I haven't, but we played with him and I cried because he looked so happy and he hadn't for a long time. See, look, I'm tearing up now thinking about it. So I do feel for him, but he's good, he's getting there. You're getting there, aren't you, my buddy? No, you can't go and bark at the birds in the garden. And the hole is barking doesn't. Hey! His barking doesn't wake her up, although we did have an incident where he barked pretty loudly and then she jumped out of her sleep. It startled her awake and she was not happy about it. So again, fingers crossed that's not a thing that happens more often. But yeah, that's our little Jeff update. He's doing pretty good. You're a happy boy really, aren't you? You're a happy boy still. You're still getting lots of walks and lots of food, and you get to go on outside and you still can keep guard, can't you? So yeah, we love you. We love you, Mr. Jeff. Alright, we now have an awake child, don't we? Because you only nap for like 35 minutes now. Yeah, so we have several naps a day. We're probably awake for about an hour and a half each time, but our naps are only about half an hour, so that's where we're at. Are you going to eat this? Are you going to like this one? Are you going to do it all in one go? Me and Eloise have ventured to some baby groups, so obviously in that vlog I was telling you that we were going to, but that we hadn't been. We've now been for a month. I can't really include Eloise in this because you're just a baby. You might be the most sociable person in the world. You might be. But obviously I don't like that. Come on. I don't like that kind of thing. So I decided to dip our toe into some local groups. Originally we were only going to go to one, but we ventured to two because we're brave. We're brave little soldiers, aren't we? You're doing so well with your food. So we ventured to two local groups. One's at a local church hall. It's a toddlers group. It's too old for her. We won't be continuing with that one next term. They had like a corner that they set up with baby toys, but even those are a bit big for her. If you've seen in the thumbnail, she's holding a rattle. That's about the extent of the toys that she can play with there. And she also gets, prodded a little bit by other toddlers who are obsessed with babies. I had a little girl yesterday who I had to explain what everything was, what your bottle was, what the lid of the bottle was, all of that kind of stuff. And Eloise is by far the youngest. There's another baby that goes that's about 6 months. So I've been talking to that mum. And then the other group that we go to, and we've got that one today, is the songs at the library, essentially. It's nice. It's a much more relaxed affair. She is still the youngest child that's been going, or at least the 2 weeks I've managed to get there, because my physio and stuff is on the same time. But they're much closer in her age, and we can sit, we can have a song, we can read a book, you know, all of that stuff. So you're doing so well, good girl, keep going. So yeah, I've also been looking at, so baby groups work in like school terms, so they do it per half term. That's what you book for and pay for. So we haven't really done many like expensive baby groups. The going rate seems to be £8 for a session. We haven't done any of them yet. The library's free and toddlers is like £2. But I've looked at going to one of those after the May half term, so we're going to go to a baby sensory one. I'd like to have another one. I'm hoping to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday next half term, but I'm not sure what group to go to on a Monday. As I said, I could carry on with toddlers because they also hold a Monday one. We currently go on a different day, but as I said, it's not age appropriate for her at the moment, so we need to find something else that we could potentially do on a Monday. Unless we just don't do anything. We could just not do anything, Eloise. But I do feel really hampered in the fact that I don't drive, because things like there's free baby massage, but I can't get to it unless I'm willing to walk 2 hours there and 2 hours back and all of that kind of stuff. I'm lucky that there is a lot of baby groups around our area anyway. We're pretty much in a family suburb, so this kind of makes sense, but it does hamper me a bit not being able to drive. So that is back on the agenda at some point, not for baby groups, but I just think it's going to be helpful. As much as I don't want to drive, I feel I have to now. Plus, Sheffield's really hilly, isn't it? And those hills aren't helping Mummy's back when she's carrying you or pushing you in the pram. That's our little group update. We've been going. I've actually found that since venturing, I've probably felt more capable as a mum. I feel like I understand Eloise better. I don't know whether the groups coincide with this, or it's just the fact that we got to 2 months and I was like, okay, I'm getting the hang of this now. I can understand what you're after a bit better. I know roughly when you would prefer to sleep and when you would prefer to feed. Not that we have to listen to that now, do we? Because we've got to ignore all of what you want with feeding. But I'm feeling a bit more, settled in it, which is a relief. I still have many occasions where I go, I don't think I'm doing this very well. Should I be doing more with you? I'm being told that she's failing to thrive. Didn't help that, but you need to not get hung up on that though, because that's a lie. You're doing so well. We have also been venturing out and about as well. I've been looking at different events that have been happening in Sheffield and planning those. So we went to something in the woods, so the woods that we normally take Jeff to. They had like a little day. To be fair, it wasn't great, but we missed the tour with the person to actually talk about the bluebells and things like that. We do have more to have though, but that was a good first. It was a good first stint. Well done. Let's get some air out of you. Let's get some gas out of you, and then we can have some more. Yeah, good girl. And then last weekend we went up to a local farm that isn't like a farm that you visit, but like a working farm, because they had an event about Highland cows called the Highland Fling. I actually took a couple of clips from that one, so I'll insert those now.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. See whether you selected the right one. There we go, and congratulations to Robert Bradley with his 2023 Bonnie Melody of Moorside Fold in Queensbury, West Yorkshire. And as I said a little earlier, if any of you ladies having trouble with your men's toenails, Robert is a hoof care specialist, and he looks after the on hundreds of cows and make sure they're in good shape.
Oh yeah, she's definitely noisy, but she has to make a lot of noise.
So she has to make a lot of noise to get a movie.
She's got attitude as well. That's why I think she's really favourite.
But as you could see, they had a ring where they were showing Highland cows, which was pretty cool. Now, the Highland cows are now my favourite type of cow, and Eloise got to watch them and hear them and smell them, so that was some good new senses for you. And there was a few stalls and stuff. We had lunch at the cafe, which is nice but slightly expensive. And yeah, we just had a nice couple of hours up there doing that the other weekend. And then coming up, I've also highlighted some in the diary that we can also go to. But we have a holiday planned soon, so I think I mentioned that we booked it, but I don't know if I shared where we're going. But we're going for a few days in the Lake District with Eloise and Jeff. Wish us luck as we try and contend with both baby and dog. So we're doing that, and I will vlog it, so they'll be coming up for you. And I've been looking at other places that we can go. I was applying for her passport last week, so I was doing a little photo shoot for her. Again, I took some clips about that, so I'll insert those now. So I've just been trying to get Eloise's passport photo. It's been highly amusing. I'm a bit upset that the duck face, which I will put here if I can, won't be accepted. We ended up going with this little setup here. So I had her perched against this, which is the top of our footstool. Hang on, that works better. So I had her perched against this, which is the top of our footstool, with a sheet over it, her sleeping bag, just to make sure that the whole background was white, even though only this bit will actually be seen. And then I sort of perched her up. And we had lots of attempts, didn't we? Much to Mummy's amusement. Yeah, much to Mummy's amusement. But I had great fun one afternoon trying to get pictures of her, because some of them are very funny. Some of them are very funny. Mummy was just laughing at you, wasn't she? Oh, there we go. I was about to move your position. Good girl. Any more? Any more burps? There's another one. Any more? Any more? Or shall we try and get some more milk into you? Yeah, shall we try and get some more milk into you? So we want to go to Copenhagen, but that'll be slightly later in the year. I've also looked at possibly Belfast for a weekend. Pete's never been. I'd like to go back because I'd like to do the Titanic Museum. Figured it's a short flight, so it'd be easy with you. And Milan always has cheap flights, so maybe Milan. But basically, you know, I'm off. I feel like I should be making the most of it. Taking you on some adventures. You're not supposed to dribble that all out your mouth. And onto your sleeve. Onto your sleeve. Come on. So if you've got any easy trips to do with a baby that we can do over a weekend or something, let me know in the comments, because I'm keen to take us on some trips. Not that I have any money, because, you know, maternity pay is kicking in soon. Which is But I am going to pause this so I can try and force feed my daughter to eat the last of this bottle. Drink it. Does she eat it or drink it? Who knows? And then I'll come back to you. Yay! You did it! You did it! We have an empty bottle. Yay! Took a bit of coaxing, but we got there, didn't it? Took a bit of coaxing, but we got there. You're such a clever girl. You're such a clever girl. Yeah. What's nice now is that she smiles a lot. So even if we have a not so nice feed, I'm gonna then get some smiles afterwards because you don't hold a grudge anymore. No, you don't. So that is most exciting for me. I like your little smile, don't I? I like your little smile. So yeah, talking of food, Mummy and Daddy, me and Pete, we managed to go out the other day. So his parents were here, so they looked after her for a couple of hours. For his birthday back in March, I owed him a meal. So in his card I put an IOU for a meal. He could choose when, where, whether she was coming or not. So we headed off to Miller and Carter. Again, I have one clip where I filmed that we were going, so I'll put that in now. It's made me go out without a child.
Hey, you got me the birthday present.
I did. I IOU'd. I did give you the option to take her with us.
I figured it'd be nice to have nice and night out.
You chose not to have her with us. Oh, bright light, bright light.
We've got 2 hours out the house, basically.
Yeah, we actually have babysitters. She's staying with her grandparents. It feels a bit odd because other than a doctor's appointment the other day, I think I've been with her. Oh, and a walk once that you took with them on.
I've taken them on walks.
I think you've only been on one without me. With her, without me. So it feels like part of my arm is.
So we're going really far away.
Yeah.
It's the restaurant.
We're basically, I turned you on basically as we left our house, and then we're basically where we're going. So yeah, we're going to Miller and Carter for food. As Pete said, I owed him a meal. This is what he's selected.
You also said you wanted a steak, like, while you were pregnant, so...
I did, but the whole point was that you were going to buy me a steak for having a baby. And
Instead you get to buy me a steak.
but instead I'm paying for my own steak. So yeah, but it should be nice. Right, let's go. But then I didn't film anything else because, as I said, I haven't really been in the vlogging mood. No, Mummy's not been in the mood to vlog. No. We had a really nice meal. It was way too much food. We had 3 courses. It was just nice to have some time, just the 2 of us, because obviously we haven't had that really since she was born. Maybe the odd. At the beginning we had like 1 or 2 walks where we just took Jeff, and she stayed at home with whichever grandparent was there at the time. But we haven't really had that kind of thing, so it was nice. And meals out were and are a big part of our relationship, so we're looking forward to you being sturdy enough to sit in a high chair. You're doing well. I'm not particularly holding you up, but you're still a little bit slumpy. You don't hold yourself up quite so well, but your neck is very sturdy, isn't it? Yeah, you've got such good neck control. So yeah, it was good. But I did tell him that there's no point in us making the rule of let's not talk about Eloise while we're out, because quite frankly I had nothing else to talk about because I am with you all day. You are the centre of the world at the moment, aren't you? Yeah, you like that, don't you? And the last thing I wanted to talk to you about, so sorry this is basically me just info dumping on you about what's been going on in our life, but unless I caught you up, I wasn't going to vlog, so this is how it's got to go. But we've been visiting nurseries, which feels far too soon. We've actually, I think, confirmed our place now. So she'll be going to nursery in January. So she'll be just short of a year old when she goes. We visited, well, we contacted 3. One of them basically told us that they didn't have space till 2026. How? I don't know. Are people putting their imaginary child's name down before they're even born? To be fair, I think that nursery is very small and I don't think they've got very many baby places. But still, how is what I say about that. How is it 2026? 2026, Eloise. That's a whole year after we need it. A whole year. We then visited another one which was nice. It was quite commercial, like you walk in and there's a shop that sells their branded rucksacks and things like that. It did have its own soft play, which was a bonus, but when we walked around it and were having a look around it, the staff in there just didn't seem particularly engaged with the kids. Like, there was one room that we walked into and they were right in front of us, these 2 little girls having an argument about a piece of train track or something. And the woman that was like in that section looking after them, she wasn't busy with another child or anything, she just chose to ignore them because she didn't want to deal with their fighting, which I half understand because it can't be the easiest of jobs, but still, but still, if you're going to be going to that nursery and stuff, if you were going, we'd want them to be engaged with you. Excuse you. Is that what you needed? We'd want them to be engaged with you and to, you know, want to be there and look after you, not just see it as a means to make some money. And maybe she was just having a bad day, but yeah, there were a few staff members like that and it kind of put us off, and it felt like there'd be like massive turnover of staff as well. So if we had to, we would have gone there and it would have been fine, but we're glad we had another one to look at, which is a Montessori. So there's a big emphasis on you learning things, which was important to me. They had a lovely outdoor space. The staff all seemed like engaged. Maybe they were told that they were having a visit and that they had to be, I don't know. But yeah, the slight downside with this one is obviously it looks a little bit dated, a little bit shabbier than the corporate one. But I think it's going to be a good fit. It's also really convenient for Pete and work, and it's not too long a walk for me. So hopefully that all works out. But we've done all of this. I haven't actually confirmed with my work what my work pattern's going to be. So hopefully they agree to what I'm suggesting, which is that I'm going to do 3 days, but 3 extended days. So wish me luck. I've got a meeting at the end of the week to discuss all of that with my manager. So hopefully that all goes to plan. So then we will have 2 days together a week, and then you'll go to nursery for 3 days. Yeah. So yeah, that's essentially what's been going in the Thompson household. We've been in lots of appointments, lots of visits, going to some clubs, having lots of cuddles, and yeah, just feel like we're getting into the swing of it a bit more, aren't we? We're getting into the swing of it a bit more. And so yeah, I will try and be a better vlogger. I'll still probably stick to a vlog and then a sit down, although this is basically a sit down in the place of a vlog, but you understand my reasoning. We'll get back to it. Obviously we've got a holiday soon, so there'll be some holiday vlogs. Yay, Eloise, your first holiday. And yeah, I'm just feeling very positive about what's to come in the next few weeks, months, that kind of thing. So if you've enjoyed this video, thank you for watching if you've got this far, because I know I've rambled for a while, so I think it might be kind of lengthy as an update, but thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. If you are interested in anything that's coming up, do click that subscribe button, and we will see you later. Say goodbye, Eloise. Bye.